What's going on, everybody? Core Conversations is what's going on right about now. It's Tuesday, I think. Yes. And we are going to just have a conversation. Hey there, Kelly. And I just want to have a conversation today around the phrase holding space. So as more people come into the space, we'll have that conversation. And I just got to do a couple housekeeping things here real quick. Okay, so what's online? What does it mean? So usually in the comment section, I'll have you to write down what you're up to this week, all those different things. But for now, I'm just going to leave it at this. Hey, Shanti, good to see you. Where are you from? See, Shanti and Kelly, if you could just write in the chat section what, where you're located or where your studio is, what you do. And I'm just going to do a couple more invites for people just to talk, to share. All right. Southern California. Nice. Cool. All right. So as we get going here, that's what we're going to be talking about. Just take a few minutes here for people to join us. And this is what we do. So for those who are watching us on the replay or watching now as we go, we do these core conversations every day at 10 o'clock. What's going on, Joel? 10 o'clock Eastern, and we take some time to talk to different people, find out basically their name and their business, who their ideal client is, what their kind of origin story is in terms of how they found Pilates, or if they're in another field, how they found their craft there. So I have a few guests who are coming up in the next few weeks who are in different industries, like a basketball guy may have, starting from scratch, come back on. I'm working on some other guests too. So if you know anybody, if you have any ideas of people that you'd love to have come to this place, please continue to give me those suggestions. I appreciate those people that you sent me in the past, and we'll get them on. We'll do it. So it's been fun. So the conversation we're going to have today, I'm going to start, is around the phrase holding space. And the reason why I bring this up is because I've had some experiences with some clients of late, and where I recognize the intentionality of conversation, creating a safe place for them. As much as I want to get caught up in getting them moving and then them reaching certain goals or achieving their strength goals, their mobility goals, their weight goals, aesthetic goals, whatever their kind of physical goals are, I'm recognizing the value of listening and the value of hearing their stories and the value of sacrificing the workout for the sake of them being able to just put together some things that are going on in their mind. And I saw this again this morning with a client where he just shared a story of something that happened on the weekend that he didn't feel comfortable sharing with his buddies that were there at the time. That takes up 25 minutes of the workout as you talk it through, right? So What does the phrase holding space mean to you? Please put it in the comment section, or if you want to join me on screen, just request to join live and we can talk it out. We can wrestle with this term, and I'm going to challenge it in some ways as well, in terms of it. So yeah, please just put in the comment section what you think that phrase means to you, and I'll continue just unpack this as more people come in this space. Coach Robin. And Coach Robin, if you want to join me on screen again, I'd love to hear about your new handle. Is that Alpha to Omega? WTS. So this complete side topic, but Robert, if you got a chance to join me, I'd love to hear about, like, you change your name and just seeing that the handle there and what the vision is and what the rebranding has been with that. If you got time, great. If not, I'm more than happy to spend another hour with you because I loved our chat. Johnny, what's going on? Holding space. And 7154, as you see that handle there, I love having different people in this space than our Pilates people. And when I use this phrase like holding space, for if you're a DJ, if in this case as a barber, if you're a basketball guy, if you're a trainer guy, that holding space element is something that is different for everyone. So Robin, I'm going to bring you on right now, but I'd love for you to just in the comment section just say what that phrase means to you, and I'll unpack it a little bit more when I bring Robin on. Hello, my friend.
Hello. How are you?
So good.
I got like 5-6 minutes.
All right, perfect. So in that 6 minutes, you're going to drop your brand, your name, everything that you do, and then you're going to tell me what holding space means for you, because I think we spent a ton of time on that when we had our last chat about just the amazing work that you do. So yes.
Got it. Okay, so Alpha to Omega, the WTS stands for Holistic Therapeutic Services.
Hey.
So it's not a rebrand, it's just that I'm changing from my personal name to my brand name to kind of move more in that arena in terms of professionalism. So that's where the change came from. But I'm still Coach Robin Renee. Okay. I'm still here.
Nice.
Still here doing some things.
Yeah, but I like that too, because as we extend our reach, and you have your name, then we could bring people in that can continue to share and expand that vision and scale out what you're doing instead of it being the, Coach Robin show, right?
Correct.
Nice.
More encompassing to use that, the Alpha to Omega from beginning to end. So it's creating that continual circle of wellness, that continual circle of care. That's what that's about.
Yes. Can you just share a little bit more about what actually you do with that?
With Alpha to Omega?
Yes, please.
Sure, yes. I am a wellness educator. I am a Pilates teacher. I am a wilderness first responder. I am an outdoor leader. I take people in the outdoor. Well, we had that discussion last time. In the outdoors to have a little fun, to get a little therapy through adventure therapy. So it's, pretty all-encompassing.
That's amazing. That's I think it's so needed. And I think too, how do you, and where you are, it's like if someone benefits so richly from experiences like that, but where do they even start to find that experience? How do they even know that they need that? Yes, as Joel's putting it, like, wow.
Well, a lot of times people don't know they need it, so it's a matter of that having the opportunity be presented.
Yes.
Right. So in terms of just even being outside and, and getting the benefits of nature, a lot of people don't know that they need it. But once they get out to experience it, it's like, oh, I really needed this.
Yes.
So a lot of people don't know. So it's a little tricky, in that space, because sometimes people are like, especially Black people and especially Black women, like, no, I am not going out there want bugs in my hair and my lip gloss and all that stuff. So
Hmm.
yeah, so it's a little, I don't want to say tricky, but it can be challenging to even
Yes.
present it to get people to get, to go out and to get a little dirty, you know.
Yes, exactly. Much like the conversation that I'm always having, well, how do you get men into the Pilates studio? It's like, how do you get black women into the forest, right? Into,
Right. Exactly. And I find that so crazy, with the men is because it was created by a man, but a lot of people don't know that Pilates was created by a man, for him, for himself first, and then his first clients or customers were men. I mean, they were soldiers. So yeah, a lot of people don't know that. Yeah, yeah.
right, right. Well, and full circle then, someone used this phrase last week, and I think that this is going to be my mission for next year. She called her business a referral-based destination.
Hmm.
So as much as we're out here in these social media streets, until you have one woman go out and have an amazing experience and tell her 5 friends, your business probably isn't going to grow as fast as it would otherwise, right? Like until I have a guy come in and then on his way at the door, tell every guy on the gym floor, have you done Pilates, that you need to go in there and talk to Martin. That one experience and him telling the next 5 people he sees is going to go further than me spending hundreds of dollars on Google ads. It's a referral based destination.
I like that. I like that.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's basically it. And I think just a conversation like with what you do with women and what I'm doing with men and what we do with people in general, holding space. As you got a few more minutes here, what does that phrase mean to you, and how do you live that out in your business?
So holding space, I see that as you being the catalyst. So if we're talking about prayer, so I'll put it in the realm of prayer.
Yes.
So holding space when it comes to that, it's like when you don't have the strength to, or when you don't have the wherewithal, or even just the knowledge of what to do in the next, step,
Yes.
then allow me to be able to do that for you, to take some of that burden with, it's like an emotional burden,
Hmm.
or spiritual burden. It allow me to take it for a minute to allow you to catch your breath, and then allow me to help you to get through, to navigate through the space. And I'm looking at it in the spiritual sense.
Yes. Yes. That's good. That's really good. Okay.
So I'm an assistant, I guess you can say it that way. If I was holding space, just an assistant, to help someone to navigate a chaotic, like an emotional chaotic moment in time.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Um, Yeah, that's good because I'm thinking a lot of times people don't recognize how chaotic their moment is when we offer to hold them space.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That, yeah, exactly. Sonny's saying really well said. There's a sense that like, okay, yes, it's all of that, but they might not even be aware of how badly they need someone to hold space for them in that moment. And then we have this sense of, okay, you probably, let's just stop for a minute, or let me help you with this, or like you reach out to them in that place. So it's a powerful thing I've just been musing on, just seeing how it's manifesting with the people that I work with in different ways. So that's helpful. That's a good perspective on from that spiritual perspective of helping them through standing in the gap type thing for them.
Oh, and you know what? I'm just thinking of this now. Like literally holding space when it comes to Pilates, and the whole mindful movement thing, literally holding space on the mat to let you know you belong. Like
Yes.
this space is for you. That's another way. I'm just thinking of that now. That's another way to hold space. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
all are welcome, but you in particular belong here. Like, I want you to know that this space
Yes.
and this mat belongs to
Yes. I love that dichotomy, not dichotomy, but the difference between welcome and belong. Like it's one thing to welcome in, it's another thing to make you feel like you can belong, like you can help yourself to stuff in my fridge belong, not just you're allowed to come in sort of thing.
I've been there plenty of, well, in the outdoor industry, and even now in Pilates, just period. I've been in a whole bunch of spaces where I'm welcome. So I don't see it as people being mean. They're
Hmm.
not mean,
Right.
they're nice, but do I really belong here? It's like you're being polite, you're being kind to
Yes.
let me come into the space. But
Yes.
yeah, is this really my space?
Is this,
Like,
yes, exactly. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. I won't hold you up anymore. Thank you. I definitely want to chat with you again because
people, if you didn't hear our last conversation, maybe I'll repost it. It was just a fun chat about so many things I don't even want to go into again. I'm gonna start right from the beginning. It was so good. But yeah, the whole trauma piece was something too. So
Yeah,
nice.
definitely. But yeah, definitely want to talk to you again. It was a great conversation, and I look forward to the next one.
All right. Thank you, Coach Robin.
All right. Thanks, Martin.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care. Can you hit the
All right.
X in the top right corner there to get out? And there you go. Nice. All right. Jonathan's comment earlier was in terms of holding space, it means to me a two-way commitment on both parties, and it must be honored on both sides. Yes. So, and the piece, the element within that, with that you just said there is trust. Are we creating a trusting space? That welcome space and that belonging space is a place where there can be trust, and that trust, and Joel and I have talked about this too, as we're exploring movement, as we're trying to help people, and that gives us space to figure out how to help them. They recognize, okay, I'm trusting them with my physical body in this Pilates space, and they can hurt me with that apparatus behind me. So I could trust them emotionally to say, I'm just not feeling it today, or this happened on the way here, or these kids are just driving me crazy. And then give them space to sort of that stuff as well as we're sorting out the physical stuff. Does that make sense? Uh, so Jonathan, if you want to join me, give me a thumbs up and I'll bring you up on the screen. And yes, a safe place. It'd be interesting to have this conversation if he's good to go for that too, because he's a barber among other things, and we talk about that hairdresser phenomena of just sharing everything with that one person because they're facing a crowd, they're not connected to your context, and you just go blah. That happens as well. So it's not even necessarily a safe space, it's just a neutral space from your context where you can just go blah, right? Where you can just leave all that stuff out. So let's see where this conversation goes. Mr. Tyndale.
Morning, what's going on?
Chill, man. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Hello, everybody. Oh, let me get my coffee
Yes.
quick. I see you said
go
coffee.
yeah.
You wanted too. Yeah, so I mean, you're going back to where I said safe space.
Mm-hmm.
For me, I'm like a psychologist. I'm pretty sure you're in the same type of realm too, right? You go there, you had a stressful day, or the day before, the kids are driving you nuts. You go and work out, you stretch it all out, get all those toxins out, you go back home on Zen. It's similar, it's the same idea when it comes to getting a haircut, because for men, especially for men, we don't really have that safe space.
Right.
You know, you come home, the kids are already bouncing off the walls, or, you know, wifey's expecting something to be done that evening. You're like, holy smokes, I didn't get to decompress.
Yes.
A lot of the times, the barbershops is equivalent to the nail salons or the hair. When women go do their hair, they're talking about their relationships. They're talking about fashion. We do the same exact thing, and it's not judgmental. So again,
right.
Commitment. That's why we retain clientele the way we do, because the commitment is a two-way street. If you say 10 o'clock, we'll aim for 10 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's trust, like you said. It's big.
Yeah.
The trust aspect of these things are crucial moving forward, creating business and partnerships as well.
Right. Yeah. And it's funny, you know, like, and for those who don't know, so actually, John, do you want to just say like your name and what you do business wise, just to give people some context?
Yeah, so my name is Jonathan, right? Jonathan Tyndale. Some people call me Money. But yeah, I'm a barber. I've been a barber for almost 15 years. And what I've been doing is I do a lot of freelancing. Me and my brother opened the store probably about 12 years ago, but I like to freelance. The reason why I like to freelance is because it gives me a space as well. I'm not confined into one spot, one place. I can go here, I can go here, but I know where my home is. Like, as long as I can bring my tools, I want to experience different people's experiences. And I think that's key in growth as human beings, you know?
Right. Yes.
You wanna be
You
able
get to see different people and different experience, different contexts.
right, and you get to learn.
Yes.
You get to learn, right? So you know, for instance, you and I, we've been seeing each other for almost how long, right? I didn't know you were related to me.
The true story.
Right? So that's my
Yeah.
experience. So I'm like, oh wow. You know, and then I find out you're working with my brother, you're working with Nick Stauskas, and it's just like, okay, that's our experience. And then the commitment became, now we're cutting the boys, and you obviously open your arms up for me to go and come see you and get my Pilates done if I need to, or need be, or my son or David, whatever the case may be. So it's dope that we can actually have a space, you know, going into space.
Right. Yeah. There's another word that we haven't brought up yet, and for those in the chat who are just joining in here, if you want to put in the comment section what does holding space mean to you in your context, in your work and stuff like that. And it's so funny, like I've posted in the past, like, you know, go to the barbershop and have you guys, you know, cutting the boys' hair and stuff like that. And the word that I want to bring up right now is one which is so key: intentionality. And the reason why I bring that word up is because I know that when I bring my boys in for a haircut, you're like, what's going on with basketball? What's going on with school? What's going on with girls? What books are you reading? Like, have you thought about this? Like, you're intentional with the moments with my boys, but I know that you're like that with everyone. You're intentional with those moments. So there's a piece when it comes to holding space for people that is being purposeful with the time that you have with those people.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I like to say build pyramids. I like to build pyramids because the climax is the peak, right? So as the cut is going on, I'm gonna keep building upwards. As the cut is finishing, the climax is the outline, right?
Yes.
So that's the climax. So I'm building up to the climax. So I want to know where your energy's at. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I want to know where your energy's at, because we're actually, and like, you know, we're actually swapping out energy once you touch somebody.
Yes.
And I'm touching your head. That's your crown, right? So if I'm touching your crown, I want to know what energy I'm going to be taking from you and what I can give to you, and vice versa. Sometimes I ask for advice from my clients. They give me great advice. Sometimes they ask for advice themselves, and I give them the best advice I can possibly give them. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So the intention.
There's a comment here. I'll catch it after. Good.
The intention is definitely to build a pyramid.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Something solid, a good foundation with a nice endpoint.
Yes.
And
there you go. You get like the inside scoop, and that's like. And now, did anyone teach you that, or did you figure that out as you had so many people in front of you?
I had to learn that myself.
Okay.
Because I had to balance my energy when I deal with people too, right? I can't just come in. Let's say I had a bad night or a bad morning or whatever the case may be. I can't bring that on people. You know what I'm saying? The haircut won't be as flushed or as luminous as I want it to be. So now I had to learn that, like, whatever happens at home, I got to leave at home. And then show. It's not really. See, I don't want to put a mask over my face. I don't want to walk around with a mask on. So I got to deal with that, so I can perform the best as I can perform, right?
Yes.
And also give the product that I've been selling for how long, right? So that's the key. Separating the two, getting into business, getting in that business mindset.
Yes.
And then building that pyramid that I need to build. Because we're basically, we're builders, man. You know what I mean? You can break the body down to build it back up. It's the same thing with hair. It's the same concept.
Yes.
So
I love that you're saying that, and I hope that people who are in the chat are hearing this or seeing it through their lens, whether you're service oriented and you are, you know, talking, and you're in Pilates or you're a barber, like obviously your people are going to jump into the chat here as well. So hear that where you are in terms of just being intentional in building that pyramid. Going more, Joe, Sunny Almond here has a comment, says, I did hair for 30 years, blended some of that time with starting my Pilates business. Best two occupations ever, about being with those people and being there for them. And then, Teach and Ball said, I'm hearing that. Joel's saying there's a definite crossover into what I do in my business too. Teach and Ball, is that, I'm going to bring them on. Who is that?
That's my boy there.
Okay.
Going on, family.
All right.
One of the great trainers in the city as well.
All right. Yes, sir.
It's my peoples right there.
How you guys doing?
What's going on, Todd?
Nothing much. How you guys doing? Doing well.
He's doing a lot for the community as well. This young man here.
Yes, sir.
He's doing a lot for the community. Education, family, stand-up man.
Yeah, that's what I'm about. I have my clothing brand, Family is Key. Working on my tutoring and mentorship program, as you see, Teach and Ball. Trying to, just give back to the community. Doing our research and obviously the needs of which community needs. It's funny that with JT speaking right now, I've been one of his clients. I'm still one of his clients. I do have hair now, so I don't get a haircut. But you know what? Like, just in terms of what he represents, what he's been doing, his son, his brother, his businesses, it's all intertwining, and those are things that we need within our community. That we're constantly seeing from specifically our Black brothers, and it's an ongoing thing to transition what your business to your son, to your brother, and make it be successful at the same time. So something like that, I'm constantly looking at his brother's page, looking for my new moves. Even though I'm retired, I don't really play basketball, but we're constantly looking at it to kind of better ourselves,
and to support at the same time. Like,
exactly.
Yes,
and that's what's most important. And even just here having three of you guys, I know that one of the questions is what holding space is, what that means to you, and with specifically just the word holding. It's a sense of ownership,
Yes.
You're holding anything in your hand. You're holding a head. You're holding your clipper. You're holding your wallet. It's an ownership. It's your decision to do whatever you need to do when you're holding that item, that product, that idea type of thing. So it's accountability at the same time. If you do have a facility, what are you going to keep it tidy? Are you going to keep it clean? Are you going to keep on promoting yourself? Little things like that. So that's why when you guys chimed in and I seen my brother doing his thing on it, and then obviously specifically something what I'm trying to grow right now with Teach and Ball. The space is important at the same time. You want to be able to own your own space as well as have a welcoming space for others, and that's the main thing. Being a teacher, been a teacher for about 7 years. That's a good thing that I try to establish with the many students that I do encounter.
Amazing.
Just making sure that their head is in the right space, because before education, before doing a sport, anything like that, I tend to try to understand where they're actually coming from, what is being provided, what is not being provided, the distance that they think they can go and the distance that I'm able to carry them to, type of thing, before we actually try to start anything. So holding space is very important. It's a kind of sense of accountability and ownership that leads you to your own decision, and even likewise in this pandemic that we've been facing and whatnot, a lot of people have some time to sit back, think about what they want to do, how they want to do it, how they want to establish it, what their plans are, different things like that. So it's a gift and a curse at the same time. Yes, we may be jailed in our country, but what did you do within that time? Holding your space, type of thing. So
yes, that is so true. So one of the things you said there that I want to jump on, because I think that is an element that we didn't mention just yet, is if we're going to talk about holding space for people and being good stewards of that space, like you're saying, actually have that possession, that is so key. And the thing you said before that is the one I want to lean into a little bit more, is that seeking understanding. If I don't take time to understand, you know, in Jonathan's case, the person that you're cutting hair with, or the client who's walking into the room, that guy who is like, okay, I've never done Pilates before, and my wife said I need to be here. What next? If I don't take time to understand them first, then I won't know how I need to hold space for them.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
And
very true.
you know what? Even in my sense right now, and I guess I try to be the most realist person as possible, just to see the world as it is. And to being honest, being in the educational field, the way that I look now is very judgmental. But now I take that as my holding space, as I'm going to continue to look like this because you're going to judge me, and then I'm going to prove you wrong. I'm going to tell you that I graduated from university twice. I'm going to tell you that I'm working on my master's. I'm going to tell you that I've been working for the educational board for this amount of years. I'm going to tell you that my friends and myself have our own businesses. So even in the sense of, like I said, the understanding of misunderstanding, understand me before you misunderstand me, and that leads you to a different direction. You know, now you're mainly you're basing your ideas, your thought about me on what you may have seen through the media, little things like that. Oh, because I have hair that's messy, you probably didn't go to school. You know, so now I've been taking that role of looking like this, but also presenting and meeting, not even meeting, exceeding my criteria as a student, as a teacher, little things like that. You know, my mannerisms when I have to actually speak to a principal, it's totally different. You know, little things like that. So I constantly try to prove them wrong, but put myself considered as an underdog based off of my appearance, so I can now show you and show you what others are capable are doing, despite what we're actually looking at, and despite how we look and whatever the case may be.
Jay, that's changing the narrative.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, and that's so powerful when you can change the narrative, because you can also topple people's biases and their mindsets.
Of course.
Because now they have something in their memory of, wait a minute, I crossed paths with this person, he wasn't like that.
It's the same thing. It's the same thing in the barbershops as well. When somebody with straight hair, you know, comes in and they ask you, "Hey, can you cut this type of hair?" Well, yeah, that's why I said come sit down. You know what I mean? But because you don't have the same hair texture, you're thinking automatically like, this guy's gonna mess my hair up. I should just go to first choice. And after they're done their haircut, they're like, "Oh my God, this is the best haircut I've ever got in my life." It's the same idea. It's basically everywhere. Even when I go and get my coffee, you know, I go to Starbucks. I might go to Starbucks. They're waiting to hear me say large.
Yep.
Venti, okay? I know the language. I know how to get around.
I can maneuver.
I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So it's just changing the narrative every day. You walk with that chip on. We walk with that chip on our shoulders.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And again, when it comes down to space, where's your mental space at? Right?
Yes.
Sometimes you might mess up a woman messed up my order, like butchered it, like completely butchered the order. She was afraid. Hand was shaking and all that. Yeah. Because automatically you're thinking I'm gonna be like, yo, you do it like what?
Chairs
no,
toss.
it's okay. We all make mistakes. We make mistakes. It's okay. It's fine. Don't worry about it. You know what I mean? It's good.
Yes.
You know what I mean? You're fine. And you're serving me. I can't be, you know, I asked for a service, you're giving me the service, you might have made a mistake. It's okay.
Yes.
You can make another one.
Yeah. And that's what it is. What are you gonna do after you make that mistake?
That's it.
Is your blame gonna be on you didn't tell me it right? Or is it gonna be like, you know what, I understand that we made the mistake, I'll help you out with another one.
That's things like and that. That's a part of the building the pyramid.
As that. Yeah,
that's a part of building the pyramid.
For sure.
And our foundation is strong, right? The foundation is solid.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And like I said, some days you might be a little shakier than the others, but the basis of it is trying to get to that climax point, the peak point.
Yes.
Yeah. And make them understand you. Make them understand where you're coming from. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's it.
That's all we could do.
There's I have one more line for you, gentlemen. I really appreciate having kings in the space, as
Thank
Trey
you.
Arts has said in the past, man. Like, I
Thank
love
you.
this. So I'm researching this thing on like men and masculinity and holding space, and reflecting on a lot of the guys that come into my space that are finding my studio a safe place. And as I was listening to this thing this morning, the guy said this line, which I'm still musing on. He said, "We are recovering the right to relax." We're recovering the right to relax. And what he means by that is we're creating a space where a guy can come in and put his guard down and know that he is allowed to be afraid. He's allowed to be worried. He's allowed to be scared. He's allowed to be concerned about his finances. He doesn't have to put his game face and his mask on. He could relax for a second and just be.
And be. Yeah, for sure.
You know, and you know what, with that being said, it's a lot of, that is a male disease, pride and vulnerability. You know, like those are the things that a lot of males face, that, you know what, I can't open up, I can't shed a tear, I can't, you know what, it's just a mental thing of our toughness. At the same time, you know, we're built differently from the ground up, from our mothers, from our fathers, that, you know what, we show no fear, and that's how we live, type of thing. But then again, it's also very difficult to translate that in this new day and age, this new world, when we're built from the 80s, 90s type of parenting, you know, the cultural upbringing, you know, it's that's what was instilled in us, the culture upbuilding. Like, no matter what, my parents came from Nigeria, and they didn't fight, they didn't cry, they didn't know how they're going to get there, but they got here. And no matter how it happened, or what needed to get done, or however the food needed to get on the table, they didn't complain. So now it's just that I think with our age, me and Jonathan's age, is to send that we are a gift and a curse at the same time, because now we're in between. We understand the new age, and now we understand the old age, you know, and it would be up to us to kind of bridge that gap, because
that's true. It is totally up to us.
You know, so
it's the balance.
It's the balance, of course, because what I find too, what's actually been happening is that our age range, I'm gonna say maybe about maybe 84 to about maybe 90, in a sense. That age group didn't have children. It skipped. You know, we waited. So now that gap that skipped amongst the ages, is now the newer age groups are the ones that are having children that are older, and they lost that understanding of 4 or 5 years on how upbringing should be, the cultural understanding and little things like that. So now it's for us, as like you said, young kings, black kings, to kind of pull each other together and bridge that gap. Like, you know what, it's okay to live in this world, because this is your world. This technology age is your world. These are a bunch of opportunities that you can obviously bring at the same time, but understand where you came from, you know, understand the value, understand that when you come home from school, you have homework and dishes to do, you know, like little things like that.
Yeah.
Not a video.
I'm struggling with that right now,
you know?
So,
but
going back to what you're saying about you know, just the resting point. We're providers first. As fathers, we're providers, and sometimes we don't have time for ourselves, and we burn out. I've burned out so many times. You know, I'm busy with basketball. I'm doing my sons, sports, raising them, making the best decisions for myself, investments. It's crazy, right? It's always going like this, right? So where the space is concerned, a man told me, one of my mentors, he told me, you always got to take 15 minutes for yourself. Let's start with 15 minutes. Sometimes you guys might see me post pictures or videos of me in the middle of nature, and I'm feeding the dogs like I'm in the mafia. That's my space. You know what I mean? Like, hold that. Like, that's you. And I'm seeing, and I get inspired by those things. That's my time. You know what I mean? Like, We gotta take back that relaxing moment for us,
Yep.
and then we can think more soundly as well.
Absolutely.
Because we're just bombarded by daily things. Oh my God, I gotta go to work. I'm late. I gotta do this. Pay this bill. Clean the house. Da, da, da. Like, just stop for a second. Give 15 minutes.
Yes.
Some people pray. Some people meditate. Some people. Me personally, I like to be in nature. I like to be near water. I'm a water sign, so I like to be by water. That's my zen. That's how I figure out my happy space. You know what I mean? And that's what
good.
we need, because like I said, I posted something yesterday, but it got taken down. I don't know who reported me, but it was about the expectation of some females with men. Like, oh, you're a man. You're not supposed to be taken out. You're not supposed to be doing that. And you're not supposed to be. You're supposed to be a man. But at the end of the day, it's a double standard. So us knowing that the world views us as that, we got to take a step back and come out of the world for a second and realize we can do so much better by loving ourselves.
Yes.
Like the gym, we love the gym, but we've already mastered that. What's next? That's no longer my safe place, because after that I'm like, okay, well, gotta go to work now.
Yes. Right.
Where's my, sitting down and watching the ball game? That's not a safe space. I'm engaged in something.
Right.
It's that moment where you're just like, yo, no phones.
Right.
You're breathing.
Yes.
Looking at the sun, closing your eyes, you're like, that's the space that we need to bring back for ourselves, so we can actually influence the world around us properly. That's it.
Right. There's a post I put up a while ago, which I probably will post again, where I said, violently guard your private time.
Yeah.
You violently guard your private time. So even that 15 minutes means that something else is going to suffer for 15 minutes. The world would be a better place if I've had just that 15 minutes to find myself. I'm going to be that much more productive as a worker, a dad, a husband, whatever, if I could just love myself for just a few minutes. So violently guard that piece and everything else will fall in place, right?
Right.
Nice.
That's it.
Good stuff, man. Thank you.
Yo, salute.
Gentlemen.
Thank you.
Must do this again. I had the time this morning. I took the time off from the gym. Today's my day off.
I need to come to the gym with you.
Boiling myself with coffee and sugar and cream and all that. Doing myself over, but it's all good. But that's it. So, John, again, thank you. Thank you for having me, family.
Yes.
So, we shall do this again for sure.
Yes, absolutely, man. I appreciate it. This is so rich.
Yeah, very rich. Very well.
And thank you guys for letting me in, man. Short notice, but we got some good stuff.
Stay tuned.
Yes, I'll follow you after, man.
All right.
Actually, while you're on, so where can I follow? What's your handle again? And then where can we support you?
In terms of myself?
Yes.
So it's Teach and Ball. We're currently working on our website to come up, but everything right now is working through Instagram. So we're slowly getting things together. What we're trying to do as well is we're trying to target the Malton neighborhood.
Okay, good stuff.
With that being said, it's Malton. We find that it's like the lost city of Mississauga type of thing. When you go into Malton, when you leave Malton, you don't even leave back to Mississauga. It's either Toronto or Brampton. So we're trying to get
a lot of leaders coming out of there.
Yeah.
Out of there.
Yep. So we're trying to do that, and then just try to mobilize ourselves through the GTA. Give back in any way possible. So something working in progress, but soon enough we'll get stuff going.
That's it.
Man, this is exactly why when someone asks you where I'm from, I say Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. I don't say Toronto. I actually put Mississauga on the map because of men like you, mighty men like you that are doing your thing. So
thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Salute.
All right, guys. Thank you.
All right.
Take care. All right.
Love.
Yeah.
Bless.
Nice. Teach and Ball. Let me make sure I put that in the chat here too, so you guys can see that. Yes. Thank you. Man, that was just such a good conversation. I love some of the comments that are coming through. Joel, those are some great Gentlemen, Scoop Plaza PT, what's going on? Magda, how are you? Mr. Wisdom, what's going on? That holding space piece is something that I've been musing on over the last little while, and I appreciate having a perspective on that and how that comes to Coach Justice. How are you? So yes, please follow them. That was basically all I had to say today. Justice, you have a workshop coming up. If you want to give me a thumbs up if you want to join us to just talk about that. If any of you have any workshops, online classes, anything along those lines that is coming up, I'd love for you to just put it in the chat, and so we know we can cheer you on, support. I wonder if I have a screenshot of it. I don't. I don't have it. So yes, so that's coming up, and that's what's up. So tomorrow, everybody, we're going to have Tasha, who's going to come in. She's talking about mental health, and she had a workshop that she did on Sunday that is one of a series that she has coming up. So she'll be sharing on that. And this topic that we touched on today will be coming up again on Friday when I have Jamie White on. So a few people coming in and just staying in this thread for a couple of days. And I hope that everyone's doing well and just living intentional, live on purpose with all that you're doing. Thank you guys for joining me, and we are out. See you guys tomorrow again, Core Conversations. And thank you to my gentleman who joined us today.